Dirty.com. That's with the hyphens in between, yeah.
Going back to that globalism shit.
Yeah.
People retweeting 100 things about Palestine and Ukraine, not giving a shit about what's going on in Darwin right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it in the average citizen of this country to be concerned about what's happening in Darwin? Tribalism. This isn't within our borders.
It's still pretty good.
No, I'm sure it's good. It's not.
It's just weird.
It's not Cambodia, right?
No, yeah.
But I'm just saying,
I do care, and if I could help, I would. And if someone was like, "Hey,"
I'm not specifically saying to you.
No.
Yeah, I'm saying,
I get what you mean.
Yeah, should the issues of Indigenous communities be brought to a bigger forefront than what they are now?
That's complicated because do they want those issues being brought to the forefront?
Some do, some don't.
That's the problem.
Some don't think they have an issue.
No, the Aboriginals themselves.
Yeah.
Some of them want to be left alone.
That's what I'm saying.
Leave me alone.
Some don't see anything wrong with that, with the issues within the community or the lifestyle or whatever.
Or if there's issues, they're like, let us deal with it. Like, we don't want you to come in and fix everything for us. We don't want your help. And then some people are like, help us. And you're like, what do you do, dude? like do you know what I mean? Because, you don't know what to do at that point. Someone comes and asks you for a ciggy or $2 at Macca's, and you're like, I want to give you this, but I know as soon as I do, you're going to call 10 people, and I've been told not to give you anything. What do I do now? Now what? I took 2 packs of ciggies with me to make friends. Not a single person that I went with was game enough to go to their towns and mingle and actually go up to people and be like, hey, you want to see? I was genuinely down to do that. I wanted to talk to them. Not a single person that I was with, and I was with 10 people. And a couple of those people live there, and they stay away. And I was pretty disappointed. I came back with 2 full decks, and I just gave them to my dad. And I was pretty sad about that.
I'll be honest. I'd be game enough to have gone. That's the shit I live for. I love
that shit. Yeah. And I have friends that if I took them instead, we would have made best friends.
Yeah.
We would have probably, risked being punched on with at some point. It's part of it. It's part of it. Most people are going to like you, and then some people are going to be like, hey, I can fuck with you.
You can talk your way out of most situations.
I think I would have been able to, yeah.
You clue on. See, that's the thing. You got to be able to read the room, obviously. And some people have got no fucking...
You don't walk in there and go, you want a ciggy?
Yeah. You got to be able to read the room, right? And that's generally. But if you feel like... If someone feels like you've disrespected them in their house...
Yeah.
If you can read the room, you'll figure out what they need in order to de-escalate and walk away.
Yeah. That's why I was keen. I was like, you know what? I don't know what I'm walking into, and I'm okay with that. It's going to be okay. And if it's not okay, then I want to find out. I want to actually experience from it. I don't want to just shy away and pretend they're not humans, like they're some sort of subspecies.
I'm just thinking, we've covered everything, but we've got no actual solutions for shit.
Well, I think the solution is to tend to the part of the garden you can touch. That's... Who said that? That's, I think that's Ramdas, actually.
Really?
Yeah. He said, tend to the part of the garden that you can touch. And that stuck with me. And I was like, that makes sense.
That's a good way, but you can always see. That's the problem. You can see beyond your fence.
Yeah, so tend to what you can touch first. And then go from there.
But but that's what I'm saying.
Look after the people around you.
It's one thing to tend to what you can touch. It's another thing to see what's in front of you and choose not to go past your gate.
Well, you can touch that. That's past your gate. It's within your world.
We flew to the moon, bro. Humans literally built ships.
No, they didn't.
They built ships, commandeered fucking vessels, faced the unknown, and went to worlds unexplored.
Yeah.
But it was in human nature to get to those worlds unexplored, share whatever bounty they had on them, and then eventually take a few for themselves and bring them home with them.
Yeah. Do you know about the world's loneliest person to date? I forgot his name.
Why do I feel like I know the answer to this?
You might know this. He was the captain of the orbital ship that was going around the moon, orbiting the moon, while Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin went down.
Yeah.
And he went around the moon to where the moon was blocking line of sight to the Earth, so no radio signals can go through. And for 90 minutes, to this day, has not been replicated. The loneliest man in existence. It will be superseded one day, but hasn't yet.
Yeah, that's fucking humbling, man.
I love that. And there's an interview asking him about how did you feel. He was like, I was over the moon. He loved it.
It's a milestone, man.
He was like, I've been further than anyone has ever been, because no one's been to that side.
Yeah,
because it's dark. There's no point. It's like you'd rather be on the sunny side so you can see what you're doing.
Yeah,
there's no other reason. There's no fucking alien base. People like to think because it's just fun, it's a sexy idea, but like whatever. He's just on the other side of the moon. Okay, we'll get over that. He's on the other side of the moon. He's the furthest from Earth anyone has ever been because he's on the other side of the moon. So he's just alone, and he's just thinking. At least is what he said. He's like, I was thinking, I hope the mission goes well, and I'll find out soon. And that's all I can remember from the interview. He said a bunch of other things, but like all of it was quite like simple, just a dude sitting there, floating in space, and with you can spin it how you want, but that's all anyone is. You're just a dude or dudette floating in space, and you choose how you want to think of that and what you do about it and how you feel about it.
I don't know. I like the whole tend to the garden that you can touch sort of thing.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's very simple. Yeah. Right. It's a very simplistic view.
You don't have to follow it to a T, but it does remind you to rein it back a little bit sometimes when you're freaking out.
I can get that, right? Because, I mean, one thing you've probably figured out is I'm always juggling 100 fucking things, right?
No, what do you mean? You're sitting here talking to me.
Yeah. We're just wasting my life. What am I doing here?
Yeah.
I'm getting shit for 3 hours, man.
We're dying soon anyway. It's okay.
We'll all be dead anyway.
Doesn't matter.
No, but like, that was said in a different time, right? Not fucking prehistoric time.
Sure.
But I think the limitations and expectations of one's life we've progressed beyond that.
Yeah.
Right? As in people from the 50s and 60s, we're happy to just work, 40 hours a week or whatever the fuck it was. House, 2 cars, bunch of screaming kids, died at 65 from lung cancer from the pipe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was enough. That was enough.
Yeah.
The garden that they tended to was literally their fucking garden.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They walked over their neighbours, they visited their grandparents or in-laws on the weekend. That was it. We've been given the tools to see beyond our fence now. We've been given the tools to become fucking viral overnight over bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We know that we give power to people as these tribes blend and mesh and whatever. We know that people can become powerful over fucking night. Overnight, people can literally become fucking icons.
Yep.
Where it took someone like, say, Gandhi to do great work and write these fucking things, and then it would take his charisma decades to just ripple across,
Yeah.
But now you have literally an influencer come up overnight over stupid shit. Like, I'm not saying it's right.
Yeah.
But we have the power to make that kind of reach.
Yeah.
Immediately.
And we just can't handle that.
And we don't know what to do with it.
We don't know what to do with it. Because back a while ago, a long time ago, the most popular person that you would hear through was either the strongest person in your tribe that did a great thing and protected the tribe, or some traveling warrior that's just famous for doing great things. And then maybe you meet them, maybe you won't. And
didn't have to do great things, just had to be these fucking things that rippled.
Great things to that life, like relevant to whatever your life would be.
Yeah, but that warrior could have been like fucking, what's it called, man? Could have been Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could have been anyone.
Someone you feared or someone you revered.
Someone who had whose reputation fucking preceded them.
Yeah. So we're designed to look up to people who did great things, and we're also kind of designed to follow the crowd because your you're unlikely to choose the right direction on your own. You're better off looking at what other people are looking. That's why we're kind of, if we're sitting in this room, even just me and you, and you look in a certain direction, I'm compelled to look.
Yeah.
It's instinct, and that mechanism is what's being hijacked.
Because it's safety in numbers. It's conforming to something that's going to get you accepted.
Yeah, it's also just because it's unlikely that I will see the thing if I don't look at where everyone's eyes are.
Yeah.
It's unlikely because they have better points of view. More numbers, not just safety, but also information. You can gather information by seeing what other people are focusing in on. And you might not see it if you don't do that. So we instinctively do that.
It's amazing you can say that, right? And it makes sense. Full on knowing that often the greatest innovations are from people that looked in the other direction. That's sort of something that everyone means.
Yeah, because they break that instinct.
It's insane.
Yeah, because if most people are looking in one direction and that's not the right one, it's very hard to break that.
Dude, are we stoned right now? Like, if we've been... I feel like when I do the edit to this, I feel like I need to intercut... You know what, man? I was thinking...
I've got a little capsule in my neck that I break when I need to.
I feel like these are all revelations. Revelations that just need that.
I honestly like to always, like, you don't need to shy away from, like, talking and thinking even to yourself about things from, like, a zoom out as much as possible and think about them then, because I think not only is it fun, that's the number one reason why I think the way I do. I just think it's fun.
No, it's fucking great.
That's really what
going down the rabbit hole of, like,
it's just fun.
Existential existence.
I don't think I'm doing anything that it's some amazing work or
it's
anything
not,
like
because thousands and thousands and thousands of years of this shit has predated anything we have now.
Yeah.
We got to this point because people did exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I don't think I don't have this grand purpose behind, like, you know, pushing myself to learn, pushing myself to think or whatever. I don't think there's anything really to it. If something good comes from it, great. But I've realized, I'm like, what do I want my life to be? No matter what I do, how well it goes or how shit it goes, I just want to have a good time. Ultimately. Like, it doesn't matter as long as you had a good time and you were also nice to people, because that's more likely for them to be nice to you, and then hopefully you made their time a little bit nicer, and that's all it is. And it's all hippy-dippy, sure, but you also have to be strong, because those thoughts are not always there with you for you to confide in.
No.
You will get haunted at random times where everything feels like shit and everything is not going right and things are falling apart. And you have to drag yourself back to the moment of, like, oh, okay, none of it matters.
Look, when you have more expectations for yourself and when your life demands more, when you've set higher standards of living, quality of life, all that sort of shit, whether it's you and your missus or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Then life's going to demand more of you.
Yeah, yeah. The more you want.
You got more fucking sources up in the air.
Yeah.
That things they're more likely to hit. Your odds are starting to stack.
And if that's what you want,
yeah,
go for it.
If that's what you want.
I'm, like, all for it. When I see people that are like, I want to do this, 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 and this, look at Elon Musk. I'm not like, man, sit down.
Yeah.
Just relax. No, if that's what you want to do,
yeah,
and you've really thought it through,
if that's your calling.
It. I really respect it. But for me, personally, I'm like, I'm not going to hurt anyone by wanting less.
But that's the thing, dude. Like, and that's what I was trying to say, like, at the very, very start, how I said that I'm starting to lose respect for a lot of people in, not necessarily my tribe, but even, like, the peripheral vision.
Yeah.
Because it's not like they're even, they're not even chasing what they're passionate about.
But they haven't thought it through.
You know what I mean?
They haven't thought it through.
They have thought it through. They're just fucking lazy.
Well,
right?
Yeah, but if you are lazy and you've thought it through and you're like, I'm a lazy person.
No.
Dude, if you said to me, I can retire you tomorrow, or if you said to me, I can retire myself tomorrow, it doesn't matter how it happens. If I can just retire tomorrow, I will. I love working. I love my job.
Retiring from a career that you're in, you mean?
No. Just no more work, no need to work. I can work if I want to, or I can just do nothing and I'll be fine.
Yeah, but your nothing was hosing down the concrete.
Yeah, but I'm not doing anything for money.
No. Yeah. That's the thing. It's not about that. What I'm saying is that that's different, right? Because you've worked, right? You clearly have a work ethic. You're establishing something.
Yeah.
And you're appreciating your downtime because that's how you want to spend it.
Yep.
Right? Which is fine. You're paying for a roof over your head. You recognize your place within society and its structure. You recognize that you have to make some form of sacrifice to live in a society because you've come from somewhere like fucking Iraq.
Yeah.
So you can appreciate that. You know you're going to pay your way through it. And if you want certain things, you got to work towards it. Even if those things are just downtime. Even if it is just smelling roses, cooking a steak, simple shit, right? It's when you go beyond that and it's like people don't actually think that they're a fucking burden on anyone else.
Yeah.
And there's no motivation to work.
I don't want to be burdensome to anyone.
That's what I'm saying. As a person, I mean, we were built to be resilient. We were built to explore. We were built to establish, you know what I mean? And stand on your own 2 feet. There are people in society that seem to think, I'll just be an influencer. I'll get paid to... People are going to pay for my opinions. No, they won't.
Yeah.
Your opinions are worth shit. You haven't even thought about them.
Well, my response to that, if someone's legitimately said that to me, my response will be immediately the same response I give to myself. And then what?
But yeah. And then what?
And then they go, well, then I'll be rich. And then what? And then I'll be able to afford everything. And then what?
But that's the point.
And then I'll be the best. And then what?
Shortsidedness, man. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like
ultimately, and then what ends in you dying? So how do you want to spend now? Do you want to, like, are you having a good time by trying to become an influencer? Well, if you are, great. But if you're genuinely not and you're wondering why you don't feel so nice.
It's the people there are so many deluded people, man, and they're stuck in their bubble and they're nothing but fucking burdens to people around them, to society in general, but they're so self-absorbed they don't actually see it.
Yeah.
And that's what pisses me off. You know what I mean? If you want to be...
It doesn't piss me off. I think it's inevitable.
Inevitable?
Yeah. I think statistically inevitable.
What do you mean?
I just think if you have enough people, one of them will be that person.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so I don't get mad at them. I go, you are just a natural anomaly that I have to work through.
Anomaly. It's a great word. I love the word anomaly.
I think so. I like anomaly. Anomaly can mean so many different things.
Do you know why I remember the word anomaly?
Yeah.
This is such a fucking weird throwback.
Yeah.
You remember American Pie, the first movie?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The scene where Shannon Elizabeth... not Shannon Elizabeth. Yeah, Shannon Elizabeth.
I don't know who that is.
She's the bird that plays a Czechoslovakian exchange student. She's the one that gets her tits out.
Yep.
In the main dude's Jim's bedroom, and they all get a webcam out.
Yeah,
which now is a crime. Like
it's a crime.
If that ever happened now,
you're right.
they'd be in jail,
I haven't thought
right?
of that, actually, yeah.
But when he bursts in, right, to help her out, and then she tries to seduce him, and he just blows his load twice.
Oh, yeah.
There's a song playing in the background. Right? During that scene. It's like an uplifting trance track.
Okay.
I went fucking nuts. This is before Shazam. This is before the internet
you're trying
was...
to find out what song that is?
I didn't know what the song was called, but I was obsessed with it.
Dude.
And then
I have a song like that in my mind right now that I can't find.
Dude, I found that song on another soundtrack. I can't remember what it was, but it popped up somewhere. I'm pretty sure in another movie.
Yeah.
And then I got the name from that. And I'm like, I found it! Like, I lost my shit.
So what was it called?
The group, or the artist that made it was Anomaly.
Anomaly. Yeah. I've come full circle. Holy shit. Oh, you just remind me of something. I digress, right? What were we talking about? The people that bludgers. Hold on to that thought. Bludgers and...
The bludgers.
Yeah, the bludgers, right? I'll tell you this, right? So...
wait. Bludgers, I'm going to write this down.
Yeah.
And what have we got here? Speciate.
Do you edit a lot? You do, don't you?
Okay, look. With less people in the room...
Sorry, that's like...
No. I've said this, I mean, I've said it openly.
Yeah.
With less people in the room, it's easier to get through an episode, right? I will always go through an episode once over. I mean, I know you mentioned your missus's name before. I don't know if you want her name on
I don't care.
Air. I know you don't care. She might.
She doesn't care. She doesn't.
I try calling you in a week. This fool will not be connected.
No. It's fine. It's honestly, I will not say anything I don't want out.
I'm making a point.
Yeah.
I will always, even though I might say it, right?
Yeah.
I'll listen back.
True.
The true edits that I do, right?
Yeah, I'm just lazy. I don't edit.
The true edits that I do are because someone's either coughed really loudly by accident, sneezed, whatever. Maybe
chuck a gate on.
I've got a gate. It never works properly.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, my audio engineering skills have gone up the arse. I'll have you in one day. You know what? Because I've been meaning to do it. I never have.
Yeah.
I need to rewire everything here.
Oh, yeah.
So, like a lot of these cables were left over.
Got a nice interface there.
Yeah, the interface isn't bad. It's powerful. But a lot of the cable work is old cables that I had. And I'm just like, I just need this to work. So I'm sitting there just patching shit up.
Yeah, just twisting.
What I need to do is literally take all this out, read everything.
Honestly, based on, look, I can't really tell the full setup you've got there, but based on what I can see, it shouldn't be that hard. Should be fairly straightforward.
No, it is.
Yeah.
But
Anyways.
My point is that what I edit, maybe someone's telling a story where they've doubled back on something that hasn't needed to be said.
Yeah, and you're trying to
or maybe
condense
people are
down.
talking over each other, and I'm like, I can't even hear what he's saying, but he's making a really good point, so I'll try and gate everything as much as I can.
You're putting some production to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fucking lazy. I chuck a song at the front, song at the back.
I pay too much money for this place, man. I need to have something.
I'm 100% behind you on this. I've got no like argument against. Yeah.
When you have overheads, it's like, I better do this right. Otherwise, I'm a dickhead.
Yeah.
I'm literally a dickhead.
And then you listen to it and you're like, I'm a fucking dickhead.
I'm a dickhead anyway.
I could have done something and I didn't.
All right, go.
That's why I don't listen to anything. So I have a song stuck in my head right now, and you're not going to be able to help me.
No, I'm sure.
100% you're not going to be able to help me because I did a gig. I did a live sound gig. I was the sound guy for it at the Bendigo Hotel in Collingwood, right?
Okay.
And
did it just get shut?
I heard something.
I'm almost positive.
I heard something.
I'm thinking, why did that just prick up in my ears? I'm almost positive it just lost its license or something.
I think it's because of me. But I heard something about that. I wasn't sure.
Dude, I'm almost positive.
Is it shut?
Yeah, hang on. There was something. Can't go. Collingwood's Bendigo Hotel calls last drinks. There you go. On Johnson Street, yeah?
That's so sad.
It's set to close in 2 weeks. This is 13th of March. So 27th. You got a week to get there. You did it. You shut the joint.
So
they let the Arab in. It's like, we can't come back here.
We can't. I really tried to.
Other Arabs in the building. We cannot come back here.
I only did maybe 5 gigs there, right? And
just sound tech, or were you doing DJing or something?
Oh, sound tech.
Okay.
Sound tech. Yeah, I'm just helping the act get on with their night and do a good show. And I think for the most part it went really well, and I got like some good feedback, and I was pretty happy with it. And I really tried to like do it as if I'm at Rod Laver. Like I didn't go, there's like 5 people here, I'm going to take it
lazy
easy.
Set up 2 overheads and we're done.
No, I would go there 2 hours early, clean up the stage because people would just put shit everywhere, set it up. The management wasn't very good, so I didn't know who was on.
You know what the thing is with audio especially, man? It's like, it doesn't take much to make it go from shit to good to great. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just care.
You've just got to spend, instead of spending 2 minutes, you spend half an hour, you know? Like, it's really not
You just have to care a little bit. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. If you care, it's not about caring about the people, it's you have genuine passion for how things sound. If you enjoy how good things sound, then you're like, I want it to sound good.
Yeah.
And how do I make it sound good? Okay, well, I'll do the things. And I don't care if people being happy with it is a byproduct, but ultimately, it's me that really cared about it.
It's annoying me. I can hear that high. I don't know what that frequency. It's got to come down. That de-essing is pissing me off.
That guy isn't singing that well because he can't hear himself. Yeah. I want him to sound better because I want me to enjoy him.
I think my biggest wank session, wank moment ever.
My biggest wank session was.
Calm down. Let me just hear me out. Hear me out. Hear where I'm going with this.
2012. No.
Hear me out, man. Sorry. Hear me out. It was at SAE. It was when I was doing my final assignments and stuff, yeah? And we got an assignment where we got put into the main studio with like 48 track or whatever the fuck it was, right? It was a big desk. Very big desk. Yeah. And it was semi-hybrid digital sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
API.
And they said, here are your tracks.
Yeah.
They're all fucked. So, like, it's a band.
Fix it.
Two guitars, drums, vocals, bass. Mm-hmm. Just fix it. The mix is terrible. It's up to you.
Yeah.
And I had a mate there I was in a band with at the time. He just came to chill along and just whatever, And I sat there for 3 hours, 4 hours in this session and just started panning shit, EQing shit, like compressors, like generally just trying to do the shit that I'd learned.
Yeah.
And the song was terrible, but the mix was fucking mad.
That's sick.
And I remember playing it back.
And the song sounds better.
Yeah. And
way better.
I remember taking it off the cams, pushing like, room, and mate was listening, was like, well, you got it sounding fucking good. I'm like, yeah. Like, he hated it. Like, when he heard me mixing it, he's like, what the fuck's this shit?
Shit song.
Okay, this is what we got given, man. He goes, you have to use it? I go, yeah. It's fucking shit.
That was probably on purpose.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, it's a terrible song.
Yeah.
But I got it sounding fucking good, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's really rewarding in itself. Like, even if no one notices, that's the point, actually. For no one to notice is the point. Like,
it sounds normal.
You don't want anyone to notice. It is nice to get a thumbs up from the musicians on stage, because they appreciate you, and that's nice. But ultimately, it's like it's for you because you're standing in a perfect position from the speakers.
Okay, so what's this about the gig anyway?
Sorry. It went on. I do this a lot. So I'm doing
It's fine. I did it. It's my fault.
I'm doing a gig there.
All right.
And it was a great gig.
Yeah.
I probably had 2 hell gigs there because they wouldn't tell you who was on. And just like that time, I don't have an email from them. I don't have a text or anything of like who was on, what their name is, what's the artist name, songs, nothing. I would just show up blind every time. And I still enjoyed it, but I really wished someone would fill me in. That's why I would go early and I try to get there when they get there, or at least before, talk to them. Anyways, this gig went really well. I think it was on a Sunday, actually. Like, it was like one of those gigs where it starts at 5, finishes at like
the lazy
9.
The lazy hours, yeah.
It was great. And there was, I want to say 2 or 3 acts, right? That's all they told me, I think. They were like, oh, there's two or three bands or something. That's how vague they were. And I rock up, and there's this guy, and his whole setup, you would have loved it, I think. His whole setup, he had his guitar, right? He had a synth in front of him with a bunch of triggers to trigger different things, a drum machine, whatever. He did this song. It's stuck in my head. I have no idea what his name is. I gave him my number. Because I was like, he said, oh man, that was great. Like, thank you. And I said, man, anytime you need, I'd love to work with you again. I gave him my number. I didn't take his, right?
Maybe he thought you were flirting with him.
Yeah, probably. I just became a groupie. I'm like, oh, that's great.
That's great. Where are you playing?
Yeah, do you want to hang out with us later, my friends?
I've got a bottle of beer.
I might go to a park or something. So I was like, he like, anytime you need, you let me know. He's like, yeah, no worries. No, thanks, man. And I gave him my number. I'm like, anytime you need sound anywhere, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Never heard from him. He was also like, oh, I'm taking a bit of time off. So probably at some point.
He's thinking of an escape route. I've got to shake this guy off.
No, he was a nice guy. we actually got along.
Jesus, another one.
No, we got along. It wasn't weird.
Yeah.
It was only maybe
in your head.
Yeah, in my head. In his head, he's like, fuck me.
In his head.
He made the mistake of coming up to me and saying, that was good. Thanks. And I was like, yeah?
You're like all sweaty.
Yeah. Like dripping.
Yeah.
So
sorry, guys.
I was like, anyways, one of his songs was so good. He introduced it like this. He said, I wrote this during COVID, like every musician did during COVID. I wrote this during COVID in my room, and that's it. And then he starts playing it. The chorus is a sick beat. It's real dancey, and it's just, I wake up, I work out, I go to work, I go home. It's all same. It's all same. I wake up, I work out. It's just over and over, and he'll repeat it, and it's boppy. It's kind of like dancey, and he's soloing over it, and it's got this whole drum machine going, and I would kill. I know he's got that on some SoundCloud somewhere. Okay. I would kill to hear it again.
Let me ask you a question. What have you done to actually search for this song?
I've searched the lyrics. I've searched Bendigo Hotel, past people.
You can't find previous gigs from...
I don't know his name.
Do you know what date it was?
Potentially.
Get the date of the gig.
it wasn't advertised as like this person will be on.
It doesn't matter.
It was just live music.
It doesn't matter. Go back to the gig, get the date, and then contact the Bendigo Hotel. So this is the date, who played. They have to know.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's the last piece I haven't done because of laziness.
And even if you don't go to the Bendigo Hotel, I'm sure this artist announced it on their socials or their feeds. It'll come up in Google.
I go to work. I go home. It's all the same.
There's actually a lot of good music that came out during COVID lockdown.
Yeah.
Chromeo did a whole mixtape.
Chromeo?
You don't know who Chromeo are? Needy Girl is the first track they ever did. They came here last year. They were one of the last artists that I had on my bucket list. Pop funk.
Pop funk.
They got a talk box. One of the guys got a talk box.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
They were one of the last bucket list artists that I had. Finally saw them. I had tickets to their gig in like 2018 or something.
How long have they been going on for?
20 years.
Wow.
This was like the 20-year thing. They just released an album.
That's sick.
Me and my neighbour made...
Pop funk.
We got...
Where they're based?
Canada.
Wow.
And...
They came here.
The lead singer is this Jewish dude. The key bassist, keyboardist, and talkbox guy is a Palestinian.
Oh wow! Really?
Yeah, they're like the only duo that are like a Jewish Muslim. Like,
really?
Mix-up. Yeah, and they're best friends.
No shit.
Yeah.
Are they fighting for stage land now somewhere?
Just at one of the gigs.
Yeah.
20 years.
I want to stand here. No, you always stand here.
35 years of friendship or whatever it is, and it all just goes to shit.
Fuck you. My dad stood here.
You're fucked.
They're all cunts anyway. I don't care. They can fucking burn that land. I don't give a shit.
Man. You know
I don't understand why they're like hanging on to that land so much. Fucking, dude, have you seen Adelaide at least or something? I don't know. Just fucking go out, man.
It's because
Holy Land bullshit.
It's because people think they have receipts for shit. All right?
No, they don't want things to change.
No.
I think that's what it is.
The status quo has changed for thousands of years.
They don't want things to change, and they think that it's always been the same.
It hasn't.
Yeah.
Short-sightedness.
It's all same. It's all same.
Full circle.
I wake up. I go to work. I go home. It's all the same. See how fucking catchy it is? Fuck.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
I'm willing to bank that once we close all this, once I go home, I'll probably be able to find that song in like 20 minutes.
Please. I will be forever grateful, actually.
I don't know. I've actually, you know what's interesting now? Calling Your Name. I think that's the name of the Anomaly song.
Oh, yeah?
I'm almost positive.
Calling Your Name?
Fuck you. I'm going to make this the last thing we do, all right?
Why is it the last thing?
Because we've been here for 3.5 hours.
Oh, really? Well, we haven't talked about speciation.
No, hang on. I'm going to find this. I'm pretty sure it's called Calling Your Name.
Yeah.
And if I find this, I swear to God, I am the king. Because I've not heard this in like, oh my God!
Oh, shit.
And I'm only Calling Your Name.
Oh, shit.
Dude! This is it.
Did you not know the name of the song?
I couldn't remember it. I remembered Anomaly. That was the only thing I remembered from the song itself.
No shit.
Because dude, I needed the name of this song, and I waited years.
How did you find it finally?
I can't remember how. I think I was listening to the scene, or I heard it in another song, and then I got the credits, and I just went through the whole fucking thing. But we didn't have YouTube, man. Like, it wasn't a thing.
Yeah. You couldn't just look up lyrics on Google.
No.
Or YouTube.
Dude, the tech we have now, we take for granted,
I'm so grateful for being able to find songs through lyrics, unless there is some sort of Bendigo Hotel gig.
It's Libra Presents Taylor, and the song was by Anomaly called Calling Your Name. Yeah. Dude, sounds like the 90s, yeah?
It does.
This is, they all sound that arpeggio thing.
Yeah, the arpeggio chords.
Man. Told you, bro. Told you. You know what's fucked is I'm going to go find this and put it on my iPod, and then shuffle's going to be done because I'm going to be listening to this. Yeah, man. That is a staple of the 90s. I've got to send it to my mate.
Do you like Armin? Armin van Buuren?
It's interesting, man. I was talking to the other day. I was like 11 o'clock at night, and I started getting. I'm in just a chat thread with 3 random dudes I worked with, and one of them he's got to be in his mid-20s now, probably be younger than you, if not the same age. Actually, he came out clubbing with me in like like 7 years ago. I think he just turned 21, so he's probably around your age. And he's just like, he put up some track, and it was like that era track, like late 90s, mid 90s house sort of shit. And I'm like, dude, I go, Nate, you're talking my language, man. Like, this is my bread and butter for like the first, my whole high school. So I sent him all these tracks. I just flooded him with everything. And the one thing I said to him was, you need to get on like an Armin van Buuren fucking compilation.
Oh, yeah.
They were the shit. Armin was Tiesto before Tiesto.
Oh, yeah.
You know
100%.
What I mean?
100%. I like Tiesto, but like none of Tiesto's stuff stuck with me like Armin's.
Look, Tiesto became an artist in his own right. Like, especially now. Like, he just produces albums and stuff.
He's awesome.
But when I used to listen to that shit, it was like Armin van Buuren, like you were waiting for his compilations. You know what I mean?
And, what is it? Fuck. They do the album Group Therapy. Above
and Beyond.
Above and Beyond.
I've seen them twice.
Really? I've not seen them.
I saw them on my 25th birthday in Cyprus. Then I saw him
Shogun?
Oh, yeah, dude. Like
Man on the Run? Or
they're
Skyfire? Oh, get out of here.
They kept winning like Songs of the Year awards, man.
Really?
Like, yeah.
No shit.
Like Above and Beyond I saw in Cyprus, and I saw him in Ibiza in like the following year.
Yeah.
Is it On a Good Day? Is that what it's called? Above and Beyond and what's the other guy's name? There was another, Gareth Emery.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I saw him in Cyprus as well. He killed the set. He was after Above and Beyond and destroyed like everything. That's all the shit they did on Above and Beyond's label was like, that was that shit, but for 2011, like 10 years later.
The other day we had a motorcycle barbecue, and we had a DJ rock up and was on the Alexandra Avenue Esplanade, like where the barbecue areas are.
Oh,
we just did that through Melbourne Street Riders. Happy to leave that in. And the DJ was playing like, songs. He was playing good songs. And then all of a sudden, it's raining, it's pouring. I'm like, oh man, come on. I was like, that's the shit. And like, I looked at him and I was like, and he just kept going, and he actually started adding more trance stuff in there. I'm like, oh, that's so good, and I haven't heard it in such a long time.
I was trying to say to this kid, because like, dude, I was on my couch just with the phone, going down the hole, I'm like, oh man, I'm just thinking of old songs from like old mixes.
Yeah.
He's losing it. He's like, fuck man, what's this one? What's that? I go, dude, this is high school shit.
Back. Or that song, the shuffling song, the ha ha ha.
I was trying to tell my cousin's how shuffling started in Melbourne.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
What a crazy thing to start in Melbourne. Like, at the time, I didn't know it. I didn't know that this is in Melbourne. I just thought it was the thing that everyone was doing.
2011, when I was in Greece, we were driving to a club out of, like, Athens, like, towards sort of the peninsula area. And, yeah, my cousin was playing this song that was like a shuffling anthem.
Yeah.
And he said something about it. I go, shuffling. I go, it started in Melbourne, man. It's like,
yeah.
What? I go, dude, I go, fucking, are you kidding? It's a whole movement.
It's Melbourne sound. We ain't fucking around.
Yeah, man. What did I say? Oh, yeah, the trance thing.
Yeah.
Look, my musical journey's been like fucking, like a roller coaster. Man, yeah. I mean, I was creaming over your guitars that you had in your studio.
Yeah, I've got a Razorback, a Dean Razorback, if anyone's wondering. Explosion graphic, which I loved as a 13-year-old, still do, but man, 13-year-old me frothed it. And I have a Les Paul 100, a cheap Les Paul, for probably like $500. It's an Epiphone, but I've upgraded the shit out of it, and it's as good as a Gibson without the body being a Gibson.
It's interesting. The first guitar I actually learned how to play on was like my old man's Strat, like mock-up. Right?
Oh, yep.
Then when I got to high school...
Fenderino? Squire?
Squires are good guitars, man. I
like Squires.
Hang on.
They're like $60.
Hang on. Calm down. Your pants are coming back off.
Yeah, sorry.
So when I was in high school, we had an Epiphone that I learned how to play like sort of metally riffs, but I just didn't like the body of it, man. Like it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
The whole Gibson thing just was not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Then on my 21st, then a mate of mine got me a Squire, which I learned how to play the shit out of. I made my favorite shit on that. First guitar I ever bought for myself was an RG Gibson. RG Ibanez, sorry.
Ibanez, yeah.
Most metal fucking thing you've ever heard. Silver, chunky as fuck setup. And then the last guitar I got was my old man bought it for me on my 21st. It was a Fender Strat 50th limited edition.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was basically the guitar he wanted, when he was 21.
Yeah.
Still got it. Still mint.
It's a good guitar.
It's just a smooth, comfortable playing
guitar. If it's not your style, though, you don't really get to appreciate it, though.
No.
Because I can't really appreciate properly, like, a nice American Standard Fender or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not, I can feel how nice it is, but I can't really... I don't go... This is made for what I want to play. I can feel that it's not. But it's very playable still. It's not like it doesn't... I'm just too shit to play it properly for what it's designed for. Plus, I don't really like single pickups. I don't like single coils. Sorry.
Singles, yeah.
I don't really like the sound of them, I'll be honest. I think they're a bit buzzy when you put any distortion through them. Clean sounds amazing, but I want to put some distortion on.
It's been so long since I picked up a guitar, man. Like, it's actually depressing.
You know what I've done with my Les Paul? The guitar tech, not me, has wired it in.
You paid a man.
I paid a man. I paid a man to put some Seymour Duncans in there. All right. I paid a good man to... His name's James Cargill. He's in Seaford if you want to go and get your guitar serviced. He's awesome.
This too. I went to someone's house and they were showing me some extension or something in the garden.
You paid a man.
Yeah, it's like, I did this in the family. You mean you paid a man and come put it down? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I paid a man. Yeah, well, I did it with my money. Fuck you. Yeah. So, I'm James Cargill in Seaford if you want to get your guitar serviced. He's the best. He's AC/DC would go and drop off the guitars with him. Yeah. He's in his dad, James Cargill.
Senior.
Yeah. Like, it's a whole thing. Anyways, I dropped it off to him and I went, I would like to get some good pickups. I'm thinking Seymour Duncans. I don't know which ones. He's like, what do you play? What do you want to do? And I said, I'd like to play heavy, high distortion, but I want to have the mellowness of nice cleans too. Like, I want to have something versatile. He recommended the hot rodded setup, which was a Jazz 58 on the neck. Really nice and creamy, smooth, very warm.
Yeah.
And I think it's an SM58 Seymour Duncan, super hot, high output, but it's passive. No batteries or whatever. I didn't want to deal with active. And it's awesome. And then he's put some Grover tuners on it, changed the tuners. They're super stable now. The bridge is the same, the neck's the same, the body's the same, but the electronics is all Gibson. So he's changed the selector switch, Gibson, and the tone knobs. What they do is they will, if you go full to 10, they will engage humbucker to full, both coils onto full as grungy as possible. Back it off, and the more you back it off, the more one coil in the same humbucker turns off and becomes a single coil.
It's like reacting to like what you're actually feeding through it, like it.
Not just that, it becomes a single coil.
Yeah.
It's a humbucker, but it becomes a single because it turns off one side. And you can go anywhere between the two and create really good nice tones. So you can play the Epiphone that I've got and it will sound like a fucking Fender. Like, it will have that sort of sparkly in the high end, and then you put distortion on, tone up, and it turns back into a humbucker, and it's awesome.
I've got that Squire that I've shown no love to for like nearly 20 years. Like,
really?
It's just rusty. I basically played it until I broke it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Switches, everything just got fucking mauled.
Yeah, that was my Les Paul, and I was like, should I just get another guitar? I was really looking at an RG as well, I'll be honest.
RG's a tough, man.
I was going to get an RGD, which is a 7-string. I really wanted that heavier thing. What I ended up eventually doing was upgrading the Les Paul and going down to drop B. And just playing Parkway. So I love Parkway Drive. That's like definitely one of my favorite heavier bands. I don't know if you know Parkway Drive at all.
Parkway Drive were a band that popped up when I was deep into bands.
Yeah.
But their sound was approachable.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I just never clicked to follow
that's
them.
fair enough. Yeah.
Like, I
love the guitar.
I was listening to In Flames and Kill Switch and all the bands that influenced Parkway.
In this world and this fire.
I haven't heard that song in so long, but I know exactly.
That was CM Punk's song.
Yeah, it's
in wrestling.
I know. It's sending fucking chills.
Always.
But Parkway when someone would show me a Parkway track, I'd fucking click with it.
Yeah.
But I just never actively followed it.
Dude, Anchors and Idols, for example, they have a sick riff at the start, and it's so playable. It's so nice to just play alone on your own over and over. It's just beautiful.
You make me jealous, man.
It's beautiful.
I'm in the, like I said, I'm in the middle of like moving right now and all that sort of stuff. And the one thing I was sort of telling myself was, when you reset up whatever you're setting up, get a guitar stand, have at least one guitar that's accessible.
It needs to be close by. I've left guitar and gone back to it many, many times since I was 12.
I've played, man, in fucking so long.
Because I've left it and I've come back to it so many times, I've picked up a couple of things that really help. And it's having it nearby. That's one. Having it in tune every time you put it down. Just tune it before you put it down because you're motivated to do it anyway when you're doing that. Tune it. Have a clip-on tuner or whatever at all times on it. Put it down. Always make it easy for you to pick it up.
That's the thing, man. When I used to play, like, I think about what's changed, right?
Yeah.
One, obviously, obligations. I work too many hours. When you play guitar or make music in general, you need time. You need the freedom of like...
Not necessarily.
No.
Because you can pick it up and play an easy riff that you've always known how to play and just play that over and over until you go, I'm done.
I don't do that. I don't play other riffs. I play my own riffs. And when I do that...
Your own riffs.
When I do that, I want to record.
Okay. So you get sucked into that. Yeah. I'll play a riff off one of the songs, one of the songs I like. Like, I'll play Psychosocial. Just randomly.
I can't, man. I play literally the riffs that I make.
Or Pantera.
Yeah, the groove metal shit.
I'll just play that for a bit and I'll be like, I'm done.
Yeah,
and it just keeps you connected to it. And I think if you're trying to make it easier for yourself, at least have it there. And if you're finding that you're doing it for too long...
That's what I did. When I used to play my peak, the guitar was always just set up, sitting there waiting.
Yeah. On your bed.
It started getting in the case. It started going under the thing. Yes. And then it was like, well, nah. Now it's just
if it's
storage.
out, it's out, I think. And that's why I always have them out.
Well, that's why I'm looking at guitar stands.
Yes.
I remember seeing it at your house.
Yeah.
And I just went, fuck. Like, they're beautiful tools, man. Like, even just to have, like, on display. They're just fucking nice.
There's no point of it sitting in the case. I had it in the case for a long time, both guitars at different years and whatever. And every time I'd get it out, I'd be like, even if I'm not playing it, I want to look at it. I want to see it.
That's what's getting me. The fact that I've got like the Fender Strat, which is fucking beautiful to look at. And it's like, this should not be in a case under the desk. This needs to be there. Like, just pick it off the wall.
I bought my Razorback off saving everything I made from Macca's for a year. And I bought it during the 2008 recession. So I got it for a deal.
Yeah.
I bought it from the States. And I think I got it here $1,200 delivered. And it's a $2.5 grand, $3,000 depending on where you go, guitar. And I managed to get it. It was not planned. It just worked out. I had enough money to buy it on eBay. It came and I did not want to go to school that day. I just saw it. I had to kiss it goodbye and go. It got there in the morning and I had to go, and I went, but I'll be honest, it's not a very playable guitar. It's a hard guitar to play. Like Dimebag can fucking play it, but man, it's not a guitar you get back into guitar with.
I actually thought about what I would buy if I bought a new guitar.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe go on an acoustic just to have an acoustic.
Oh, yeah. If you don't have an acoustic, definitely get an acoustic.
I figured if I had an acoustic...
It's the most approachable.
I would have it sitting in my house just on a stand.
An acoustic... Get an acoustic bass if you want to. It's awesome. I have an acoustic bass. It's sick. You just sit there going... It's just over and over, and you're like having fun, but you're not actually doing anything crazy. But it's just like hearing it, feeling it, going through you because it's an acoustic bass. It really reverbs through you. And you know how bass is, it just shakes you. Where guitar, you can hear it sort of shakes you a little bit.
Bass is an instrument I always wished I could play, like as a bassist.
Oh, I can't play.
Not as a guitarist.
As a bass. I play bass like a guitar, and it's so fun.
When I watch actual bassists, fucking pull these riffs.
Yeah,
like, it's just
I can play Tool. I can play a bit of Tool on bass. Do you know Tool? Sort of.
I can appreciate Tool's music.
Sure.
But I never got into their catalogue.
I learnt about Tool through Guitar Hero. And I actually learnt about most of the music I listen to today and all the things that stem from it from Guitar Hero. 'Cause I didn't know metal existed. I didn't know rock existed. I didn't know anything. I just knew what was on the radio as a 12, 13-year-old, and that's it. And then I was like, oh, what's this? But I'm like, oh, this is sick. I discovered so many good, like System of a Down. Love them.
System are great.
Just a bunch of crazy Armenians making crazy songs that make no sense, and they bang. Like, they have a groove to them.
They've just got a good melody base, man.
Yeah.
It's a melody scale that you and I can both recognise.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, culturally anyway.
Yeah.
And it just, it's good music.
Do you know any of their songs? At all?
I've got like 5-6 songs on my entire hard drive. You know what I mean?
That's something. That's definitely something, man. Most people have.
But you can always recognise Serge's vocals, like whenever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when he guests on something, like I've got a Buckethead track with Serge on it.
Have you heard of Radio Video? It has like an Armenian bit in it. It sounds very Greek too, because it does this like slow down thing where it slowly speeds up. Like by the end of the song, they're going la 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 la.
Oh, I know that. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. And I show that to people. Like when they go, "What's System of a Down?" I go, "You know what? Check out this song," because it just starts off like real rocky metal almost, and then it goes into weird places, and it's like
I used to be obsessed with old school Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
Pure
old school.
Tony Danza cuts in line.
Yes.
Old school Hollywood.
I would listen to BYOB, of course.
Yeah.
And I would listen to what's the song where it's like the one where he just goes like I think it's called Cigaro.
Cigaro.
Yeah. And it's, or is it the same song I'm thinking of where he goes, my cock is much bigger than yours.
That's the one.
My cock is like that. Yeah.
Have you seen a live performance of that?
I have.
It's so fucking brutal, man.
Oh, Prison Song was the first song they opened with when I saw them at Rod Laver. Dun, 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 dun.
I feel like System would put on a good show.
Gonna be the person. It's awesome. Before we close it out, can you tell me what crazy music that is not related to anything we've talked about that you like?
Me?
Yeah, genres. Just
I was
genres.
talking about, I actually said this to someone the other day. Dude, my genres go from like, everything is like a timestamp. Like I know exactly what I was doing when I got into certain styles. Mm-hmm. So like, you know, I grew up in the 80s and 90s. So, you know, the first songs I listened to was the Michael Jackson albums from the 80s back to back.
Yep.
Because I figured out how to use a vinyl player when I was like 5 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously all the shit my parents listened to. So like the Stones and fucking Dire Straits and all those bands. Then somewhere in my, like you start listening to radio, you start hearing what's on the radio and all that, and you get over that. And then when I was literally in grade 6, I heard West Side Connection Bow Down for the first time.
West Side Connection.
Ice Cube, Dub C, Mac 10.
Oh, yep.
Gangster rap from LA.
Yep.
I was literally 11 years old.
Yep.
I still remember sitting in the park behind my house listening to that album non-stop on tape on a boombox.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I started listening to like
what is this?
You dude, it was fucked. I hit high school, started getting into like heavy rock, alternative metal, Rage Against the Machine, riffy shit.
Name some bands. Name more bands.
Rage Against the Machine is probably the first one I can think of.
Yeah,
They were really like the influence back then.
Anything else?
But then I started going into like I love classic rock because they had those classic riffs. So like Blue Oyster Cult, Godzilla, Kiss, Love Gun, shit that was built around a riff.
Guns N' Roses.
Oh yeah, I've seen Gunners.
I've never seen them.
Saw him in 2017.
Metallica.
Seen them twice.
I've never seen them either.
But I'm a new Metallica fan.
Ah.
So I didn't start early and go in. I started from like the Load albums, went backwards.
I started even further. I started in Death Magnetic and then went backwards.
Yeah.
Because that's when I heard, because they were on Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I got so much good music. Yeah.
And then, man, when I was in high school, in the early years of high school, I was listening to Goa Psychedelic Trance from Israel.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Vinny Vici.
What
was the
name of that? There was one artist I kept listening to over and over again. I can't remember his name.
Infected Mushroom.
This standard. They came later.
I love them.
Oh, they're great.
They're awesome.
They were fucking great. They were really instrumental in changing the scope of like where music was going in that scene, especially.
Yeah. How crazy is it that Israel is huge on psytrance?
Yeah, do you know why?
Why?
Because I spoke... Okay. Context, I used to work in an event company where we dealt with a lot of backpackers.
Oh.
And a lot of these backpackers were typically German, English, Irish, you know. One season, we got these Israelis in. These guys are in their early 20s, paratrooper medics coming out of the army, right? And they've just left because they've done their service. And it's like, we need to get out of here, right? We need to see the world.
Okay.
And we started sharing a lot about like psychedelic trance and that sort of shit. And they were big into their mushies and they were big into their acid, right? And I'm like, why?
Why? Yeah.
I go, why have you got this big culture on like psychedelic drugs and psychedelic trance? And
you wouldn't think.
And they said to me in that fucking Israeli accent, he's like, and this guy was like huge, man, big boy, fucking knows Krav Maga and shit. You know what I mean? I saw him do a few moves. I'm like, fuck. I go, why, man? Why you go? He goes, because we live every day with rockets flying over our fucking houses. Yeah. We never know when the next day is going to be our last.
Yeah.
We want to fucking feel up. We want to be enjoying the moment, want to party.
Yeah.
You know, we want to be, and that music just vibes, man. Like
party, everyday party. Every day your last party. It makes sense.
I'm hearing Zohan, man. So stop.
yeah. Actually, he does a terrible but great impression.
Yeah.
Of Israelis.
Because he's New York Jew.
Yeah.
He's not Israeli, like, he's not from Israel.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But he's like a British dude, isn't he?
Who?
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh, you're talking about Sacha Baron Cohen. I'm thinking of Adam Sandler. Oh. Zohan. You're thinking of...
oh, sorry. I've mixed up Adam Sandler and Sacha Baron Cohen.
You're mixing up your
I'm mixing up The Dictator. Oh, it's one of my favourite movies of all time. By the way. I don't know much about movies. I'm not a movie person generally. I'm
a big movie buff, but Sacha Baron Cohen, I prefer his serious roles to his comedies, right? Because I couldn't buy the caricature. Like, it was too over the top.
I loved how over the top The Dictator was because it's so spot on.
I never watched Borat when it came out.
I don't like Borat that much.
I didn't like it, right? Yeah. I didn't buy into it.
And I really didn't buy into Bruno.
Bruno, I actually saw at the movies.
Really?
Just because I got taken, like, right?
Yeah.
But the one thing that makes me laugh about Borat, because it popped up in like a reel the other day, and then I watched extended scenes. He's in his town, right, in Romania, wherever it was.
Yeah.
Where he's passing off as, where's he from?
Kazakhstan,
right?
Yeah.
But it's actually Romania.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and the villagers actually came out and tried to sue him because they ruined it. Because they tricked everyone into thinking what it was.
Kazakhstan, like...
They got him because he's making a negative view of their country.
This is my sister.
Yeah. He makes out with her. Dude, my favourite line is when he's just walked through the village. He's like, this is my village, right? And then he goes past the first two. He's like, the town rapist. Naughty, naughty. I'm like, there's a town rapist?
Yeah, that's how it used to be. It still is there. Probably. It's just a weird, creepy old guy, and now it's the pedo.
There's a town rapist.
Town rapist.
And it's normal.
Naughty.
It's just like, oh my God, you're fucked.
What did you say about his sister? He's like, this is my sister. She's the number one prostitute.
Yeah. And he makes out with her.
Yeah.
But he treats his wife like a subordinate goat or something.
It's so weird. Look, I didn't mind Borat. It was okay. Bruno, I didn't get at all. But The Dictator. Oh, I've rewatched that like 7 times at least.
Because he speaks to you.
He does.
That's the point.
He really does. He makes fun of all the things that I find ridiculous about Arabs in general. And then even when the guy's like, I don't trust Arabs, sir. Like the head of security, and he's like, but I am not an Arab. But like he's that is okay because I am not Arab. Oh man, that movie. At least once a week, I'll look at Ali and be like, Wolverine, Justin Bieber's chubby double, Harry Potter.
Just picturing the breakfast table at your house.
Oh, man. Dude, it's great. But yeah, anyways,
look, we're gonna have to close at some point because I'm starting to lose my voice here.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna ask you something.
Yeah.
Like you're joking about fucking Sacha Baron Cohen doing. You said that The Dictator is literally a caricature of everything that you can't stand about Arabs, right?
It's not that I can't stand it. I find it funny.
You find it funny?
Yeah.
How do you feel you get along with other Middle Eastern Arabs in Melbourne?
I generally don't.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I find that I'm a bit too different in my mentality.
Being the fact that you've come from overseas?
No. Just I'm not very Arab. I'm on a weird island in between Australia and the Middle East.
Bali.
I'm just floating in space. I actually quite like this about myself in terms of like how I feel. I don't feel like I belong to any particular group.
You're a citizen of the world.
I'm a travelled man. I'm going to throw up on myself.
A citizen of the world. I can't stand that shit.
No, look, I genuinely, I'm definitely Arab. I'm definitely Australian. And I've cherry-picked, really, from Australian culture and Arab culture. And people say there's no Australian culture, and that's not true.
Fuck off.
Australian culture is to not have a culture.
Dude, you want to talk Australian culture? Go talk to my mum who's been here for 50 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's as Aussie as she's Greek.
Yeah. But the Australian culture is the lack of culture. That is culture in itself. It's like, do you boo-boo? You know, it doesn't matter what you want to do. Just don't bother anyone, but you do whatever you want. That's like the Aussie way. Hey, have at it.
There's no way we can't have no culture. We are so isolated from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
There's 25 million people, whatever our population's up at, right?
Yeah.
You can't not have a culture, but it's what it is.
Our culture is essentially ungoverned Britain. It's just like, yeah, there's etiquette, but just don't bother anyone. Do whatever you want.
Relax, man.
Relax. Yeah, chill out.
Just calm down,
like
mate.
16,000 Ks. It's all good. Don't worry about it. But I love that, and I find so much freedom in that. But I can see why people can find themselves in a void. Maybe like they want to color things a little bit and see some culture.
I said this to my mum years ago. I was at her place, and she was watching the footy or something, right? So I've just come in, I had dinner with her, whatever. We were just sitting around, and I said to her, I go, this really is Aussie culture, isn't it? She goes, what do you mean? I go, you wouldn't see this anywhere else. She goes, what? I go, look at these footy commentators. Every other place in the world, these sports commentators are professional. They've got like dialogue, script, stick to the narrative, stick to the facts.
Yeah.
These bogans are just like they're at a barbecue and they're just talking about people they know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he goes, Luffy!
Like the commentating is so loose.
It somewhere.
It's so loose and just free flowing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think they were on a major network, you know what I mean?
I'm a huge fan of Australian culture. Huge fan. and if people go, what culture? That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Because you're just free to be yourself. And if you're not the type to find peace in that, you can get a bit desperate and panicky and try to belong to a group, which is what a lot of people you see do. But I feel quite lucky, to be honest, to be stuck in between two islands of like culture, where I can just kind of blend and mix whatever I want. I can listen to death metal and also go back to Iraqi music the next day or the next minute. I can scream at someone in Arabic and have a laugh, and then, you know, just do the most ochre bullshit bogan accent with another mate of mine. And no one's going to be like, hey, who are you?
You generally see that when you go to pubs. You'll see different people just mix, you know, whoever the fuck it is, just talking shit.
Fucking, you any fucking ginger beer or no? I'll just get a ginger ale then. Fuck.
Casually swearing is the most Aussie thing you can possibly do.
I love it. It's my favourite thing. I never used to swear. I don't swear in Arabic at all. I actually don't swear in my Arabic at all.
It's weird. I'll
say khara, which is the worst thing I'll say, which is just shit. That's it. I'll not say anything beyond that.
Lesh.
It's just khara.
I said this ages ago. I said when I swear, it's almost always in Greek first, then usually Spanish after that, then English.
Wow, okay. Fair enough. That's so weird. yeah, well, that's cool, man.
I just remember I shared this with a mate of mine when it happened, because I laughed about it later.
Yeah.
I was loading a truck or something, I can't remember what it was, and either the guy pissed me off or like a box or something fell off the pallet.
Yeah.
Something happened that set me off.
Yeah.
And under my breath I was going, tu madre. You know what I mean?
What? It's so left field. It like makes no sense. Tu madre. Pisca tu madre.
It's just under my breath. I said it like angrily, and I laughed about it. I'm like,
I'm just weird as me. Suka, the fuck?
It's such a throwaway curse. Your mother. Yeah,
Your mother.
What do you mean?
Just your mother.
I started laughing about it.
Everything about her face,
Dude,
fucking...
It's, like we said, products of our environments. I've been in logistics for most of my life, working with warehouses full of random cunts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
Yeah, you meet some pretty crazy people.
Welcome to no culture in Australia.
I love it. I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Anyway, dude.
And on that note,
we're at 4 hours.
Oh, great.
And I fucking lost my voice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. Your closing thought.
My closing thought.
Yeah.
About anything in particular?
Anything you want. What's your final sign off?
If someone's listening and you made it this far,
Jesus,
and you're thinking, all right, well, like, what now? What do I do with my life? Just try to have a good time and see how you go. Don't bother anyone else, and try to make someone else have a good time with, if they want to.
Don't use that line. We're here for a good time, not a long time. I can't stand it.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
I can't stand it because somehow people drive it back to like their little motivational like moment of like, fuck commercialism.
I think they say these things, but they don't actually like fully understand them or believe them.
It's a tagline.
Maybe they do.
It's a tagline for their socials, man, and that's what they fucking
Maybe
do.
it is, but if they say it often enough, maybe it'll sink in, hopefully.
Nah, it doesn't. Because then they either go back to work, they shut the fuck up, and they spend hours doom scrolling for the fuck of it.
I think see the good in people, protect yourself from the people that you should be doing that from, and don't be naive, but also don't be closed off. Have a good time, and try to make yourself, like, you and yourself are a team between you and yourself, and try not to neglect that.
I think that's a good way to look at it. You and yourself are a team.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think so.
I think putting a bit more faith in yourself to get shit over the line, at the same time listening to what you actually want and having the honesty to actually be reflective and consider what you want as opposed to what you think you should be doing or what you should have.
And criticize what you want and see if it's actually what you want.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so it's a loop. If it's a feedback loop, just keep talking to yourself in the corner. Everyone will think you're weird, but you're doing okay.
Maybe that's why.
Why?
Maybe that's why that guy on the stage didn't call you back.
Oh, yeah.
Because you were standing in the corner.
You're having a great day. You've lived such a nice life.
Affirmations.
You're beautiful. You're strong. Nothing can stop you.
I'm done. I'm done.
I hope I find out what that song is. I really do.
Hold up.